up, everybody? How's it going? You guys all feeling good? Everybody buzzing this morning? No. Oh, wow.
They need more tequila, Sam.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sorry, because we're going to bring you down, but you're already down, so this is perfect for what we're about to do. Hi, everybody. So since Jonathan and I became colleagues now about 2 years ago, we've had some fun doing videos together where we debate the headlines in as little time as possible, as we like to say. We do something called Quick Bites. A selfish plug, Jonathan, that we would like them to go follow us on social media so that they can watch our Quick Bites videos, right?
Please do, because we need as many watchers as possible.
Yes, our careers depend on it. So
That's
please
right.
go watch Quick Bites. We're desperate for attention. So follow us along, because you can see what we're about to do here on stage. You can see that in YouTube form every other week. But what we thought we would do here at RLC on stage live for you as a treat is a live Quick Bites where we are going to debate the headlines in as little time as possible. And we are already running out of time. So Jonathan, let's get started. They're going to put a timer on the clock for us. And we're going to talk about, first, the biggest headlines of 2025. Jonathan, we're about a quarter of the way through the year, and we've had a lot of big headlines already in the restaurant industry. What's the biggest headline?
The biggest headline, Sam, is uncertainty. We have absolutely no idea what is going to happen. And
It is
I mean,
funny.
that has probably been the headline of the last 5 years, and yet it's going to be more of the same. We have no idea what's going to happen in Washington. We don't know what's going to happen in China or in Europe, how they're going to respond. We don't know how much this is going to cost operators. We do not know how consumers are going to react to it. Nobody knows anything about what's going to happen, and it really emphasizes the need really to just focus on what matters, which ultimately is the customer, because that is ultimately what is going to win the day, because you do know that if you serve your customer the right way with really good service and really good food, you will win. Boom.
Oh, man, look at you, efficient. God, scares the crap out of me. Okay.
That's a great one. What do you think, Sam?
Okay, well, I do think you're right. And listen, at the end of this year, we are going to talk about how tariffs were the biggest. I got extra time. I get bonus time. They took the timer off. Oh, there it goes. I think that tariffs are going to be the biggest headline of the year. But I think to your point, Jonathan, uncertainty. We could not speak with authority about tariffs right now because who the heck knows what's going to happen with that. So instead, and to seem a little self-serving for the day that we have planned today, I'm going to say Chili's sales results is the biggest headline of the year, and I'm going to tell you why. Listen, we're very excited to have Kevin Hochman. Yep. Very excited to have Kevin Hochman and George Felix be able to share their story of how they were able to accomplish 31% sales growth last year. But does anybody else think about Popeyes circa 2019 when they look at what's happening with Chili's? I did not expect, no offense to my Chili's friends, I didn't think I'd be talking about Chili's every day of my life in 2025, but I am. And it's just like Popeyes in 2019 with its chicken sandwich. The reason that's such a big deal is because this is a playbook, especially for casual dining, in operations and marketing, how to retool a brand and be able to turn around and be successful. And wow, that was a weird sound to pick. Yikes. Okay.
And you think you've been talking about Chili's every day, man. Anyway. So the next topic, let's stick with that full service theme there, Sam.
Okay.
And outside of Chili's and maybe a few other chains, the full service sector been a little bit challenged. What's your thoughts? What's happened to the full service sector? What's been the problem?
Yeah, look, we all know that the restaurant industry is a pendulum that swings back and forth, right? And the poor full service sector is such a victim of that pendulum swinging because the customer, first they want, an experience and high quality food, and then all of a sudden, of course, the economy does what it does, and they want convenience and they want value, and the full service sector becomes a victim to that. I mean, I think what's going on with the casual dining sector outside of Chili's, Texas Roadhouse, and a few others, is that there's a real issue around value. Full service brands need to demonstrate how their experience is valuable to the customer in economic times like this, because we all see the consumer pulling back on their spending. Restaurants are the first thing to go, and full service experiences especially are the first thing to go. So if you can demonstrate value to the customer, which I think Chili's and Texas Roadhouse and those brands are certainly doing, then I think you'll be able to bring the customer in to have that. But I would also say experience. I'm really excited to see what brands like Fogo de Chão are doing to create an exciting experience that isn't just exciting to go have, but especially appeals to the young generation. So today we'll put it on social media. Jonathan. What do you think is the problem with full service today?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't think the problem with full service is the fact that people don't want to be served. I think the issue really ultimately goes back to the companies and the way they've been financed, frankly. Look, I'm a finance guy. I cover finance and have for ages, and that's the thing that I always look at. And everything sort of flows from how the business model has been created. And too many of these companies have done away with ownership of restaurants. They've done too many really large sale leasebacks, such as Red Lobster a decade ago, and many other companies, which puts intense pressure on your P&L. And then you load these companies up with debt, and then you don't invest behind operations and service. And we're about to find out a really good example of what happens when you do invest behind service and labor. Because the fact of the matter is you can't cut your way to success, because consumers will notice it because they see this.
Wow, that one felt really anticlimactic. Jonathan, what's up next? What are we going to talk about?
Our next one we are going to talk about is what concept are you going to be watching in 2025? What is the concept to watch? What restaurant?
Okay, yeah, I think the one to watch this year is going to be Starbucks. Starbucks just dropped, what was it, $96 million on Brian Nickel, something like that. So hopefully they see a return on that investment. Starbucks, of course, traffic is down, sales are down, but it's Starbucks, for God's sake. Don't count them out. I'm sure they're going to turn things around, but I'm really fascinated to see how they respond to the competitors in the coffee space. We got to hear from Christine from Dutch Bros. There are incredible drive-through brands obviously coming and stealing market share. I think we're going to talk a bit about some other brands that could come and steal market share from Starbucks. I was fascinated to see Starbucks is going back to the third place, because here's a brand that started as the third place, a place where you want to go sit and stay a while and have your cup of coffee, and then they really pivoted hard toward drive-throughs. Now they want to go back. They want to invest in that third place so people come and have that coffee shop experience. I love the idea because it's a differentiator, especially when you consider the drive-through only crowd. But my question for Starbucks is, where's the real estate? What's the growth opportunity when you need a bigger footprint in order to facilitate that third place? Jonathan, it sounds like such an unpleasant.
It's
I don't even want
like
to
we're stepping in.
Okay, Jonathan, what do you think what company are you watching for the rest of 2020?
I am going to throw you a curveball, Sam. I'm going to say it's going to be Luckin Coffee.
Okay, there we go.
And here's why. Now, Luckin does not have a permanent location in the United States yet. However, they are a fascinating company out of China. You might remember that they built a bunch of locations really fast, and then were found to have completely faked their numbers, which apparently is wrong, I've heard.
Can't do that.
But they went through bankruptcy, they overhauled the management, and then they basically went and continued doing what they were doing by really adding a bunch of technology, smaller locations, and undercutting prices, which is the big thing. And now they're eyeing the United States. Not to mention many other parts of the world where a lot of companies, like Starbucks, are looking to expand. But they're eyeing the United States, and that could potentially bring an interesting new competitor to an already really competitive coffee space.
Hey, look, you know what? We actually did a pretty good job with that.
We got a whole minute left.
I know.